Hello everyone, Goodra for the win here, and boy, is Goodra winning. So earlier today, my local league had a cup that I was able to play in, and I was lucky enough to come away with the first place finish for the Masters Division. And who else could I play but my man, Goodra. Goodra is still good. We did manage to get this nice, lovely playmat, and we do have some prizing that we will open up at the end of the video. But I just wanted to go through the list that I played today because I think Goodra has a very good chance to be successful this format. So let's go ahead and take a look at the list. So first off, we are going to start with the Pokemon. So obviously, we have the Goodra V and the Goodra V Star. Just a 2-2 line. I don't think you need any more than that. Ideally, you're probably only going to resolve or establish one Goodra V Star per game. It's all you really need to kind of like build up everything. But it is a Lost Zone Goodra deck. So we do have the 4 Comfey, which is pretty standard. We are running 2 Cramorant. I do like 2 Cramorant in this list because it does give you a little bit more flexibility later in the game, and you do have just another attacker. And then for the 1-of Pokemon, obviously we have the Radiant Greninja. We have the Zamazenta for revenge killing, and then we have the Manaphy just to make sure that if we're going against any Cheating Pals or any other Lost Zone decks, we are protecting our very, very fragile Comfey on the bench there. Next up is our supporter lineup, and we're actually pretty thin on supporters. We're only playing the ones that matter, so obviously in a Lost Zone deck, can't go anywhere without 4 Colress's Experiments, and then the rest of the supporters we're playing are all 1-ofs. So we have a 1 Iono, 1 Roxanne, both for hand disruption, obviously, and then the 1-of Boss's Orders. Next, we'll go over the items that we were playing. So we do have the 4 Mirage Gates, and then, of course, gotta have our switching card, which we're just going for the regular switch because it also helps make sure we not only keep our energy in play, so we don't have to retreat as often, but also if we need to get the Goodra out of the active, we can get it out of the active. Then we are going to be playing, we have 3 Super Rod. I like having the option of like more Super Rod to just keep your energy and even some of your Pokemon, just in case it comes up later. We also have 2 Lost Vacuum. And then the last item we're playing is Counter Catcher. So next we'll go over the sort of consistency pieces, just the items that search. So we got 2 Buddy Poffin, and of course 4 Nest Balls. So one thing, this is a very similar list to Johan Coates' list, who won the Junior Division at EUIC with the Lost Zone Goodra deck. And one thing that I found interesting is that he only played, he did a 2-4 of the Poffin and the Nest like this, which theory crafting the deck before EUIC ever took place, I knew Goodra would probably have a decent shot with Temporal Forces in rotation. But I was thinking more along the lines of like max Poffin and then like a number of Nest Balls and possibly some Ultra Balls so you can get to the V-Star quicker. But these are the only like search cards, items that are being played in the deck. I do like having the 4 Nest Ball as opposed to the Buddy Poffins, because the Buddy Poffins are only going to be able to grab you the Comfeys and the Manaphies, and like in theory you want your 4-ofs you want to be able to see as often as possible. So having 2 on the Buddy Poffin is okay because it's not accessing a good portion of your deck. So I like the Nest Ball because it can get out your Greninja if you need it. You can also get out your Goodra V to establish and start powering up and get ready to evolve. So I do like this ratio here. Next up, we have our tools. So all of these are 1-ofs. So we have our TMs, we have the Devolution, and we have the Crisis Punch. And then we have a Defiance Band and a Rescue Board. Now, there is one other card that would go in the slot. I don't actually have the card, but I was able to borrow it for today, and we're going to put it up on the screen here. It is going to be the Maximum Belt. Maximum Belt is our A-Spec of choice. I prefer it over the Prime Catcher because I think Goodra's biggest matchups are against decks that can kind of push through the damage reduction that Rolling Iron offers. which, if you're not aware of what Goodra's attack does, it does 200 damage, and the next turn, Goodra takes 80 less damage. So your biggest issue are decks that can push through that damage, namely being like Chi and Pao and Goldango. And so I prefer the maximum belt, because the maximum belt actually will help you knock out a Chi and Pao straight off the bat. You can also knock out some of the other like basic attacker EXs in play. It can knock out any of the EXs that are played in like Iron Hands. It can also help you knock out the Roaring Moon if you come across that. And it can, well, with the Defiance ban, if you're behind on prizes, you can knock out some of the basic Vs that might be played, like a Baby Giratina or something. I thought about maybe finding room for a choice belt just to have like the V and EX hate, but I think this is pretty solid. So then the only other two trainers we are playing are our stadiums, and that is just a 2 of Artisan. So last, we're going to go over the energies. We'll start with the special energies. So first up, I think this is one of the best energies, especially for Lost Zone. It's just so fun to resolve with multiple Comfy on the bench. But we have 3 Jet Energy, and then our other special energy, the card that makes Goodra playable again, which is Mist Energy. So Mist Energy, while it's attached to a Pokemon, negates any effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. So that will turn off the Roaring Moon and Giratina, like just Oko, which was the big reason that Goodra wasn't playable. It's just because like you can Rolling Iron and like it didn't matter. So Mist Energy helps with that because they can't knock it out. They still have to push through that. So and then the basic energies, we're just doing 4/4 on water and metal energy. So that is the 60. So while we open up some of our prizing and talk about our prizing, I'll talk about the matchups and everything that we played today. All right, so for our prizing today, we basically got the junior player and I kind of got to split because we kind of tied, but we got to split the prizing. So there was one booster box, and then a couple ETBs. So we have half of the booster box. We split the box in half. I gave him the left side, and then we have a Vivid Voltage ETB. He got a Silver Tempest. That was his choice. So that's what our prizing was. So let's go ahead. We'll open up the Vivid Voltage ETB here. So our matchups today, there were only 4 people who showed up to play, unfortunately. It is Orlando's going on, so like we're close enough to Orlando that people could have driven. But there were only 4 of us, and one of them was a senior division player. The senior division player was my only loss today. He was playing Charizard. He's my first round matchup. I feel like it was definitely a winnable matchup. I just I definitely garbled my my resources and mismanaged my resources. I got rid of my boss and my counter catcher way too early on in the game. There was a chance. The last turn came down to it was a 2 versus 1 prize situation. I was on 2 prizes. He had Radiant Charizard in the active. And if I would have just had a switch card, I could have established a Cramorant and Crisis Punched a Luminion that was sitting on the bench. But unfortunately, we mismanaged our resources, and so there was no way I could take game. So we scooped. But round 2 was against, let's see, I think it's 3 or 4 from the back. I want to say it's 4 from the back at this point, yeah. So our round 2 was against one of my local friends who was on the Dunsparce Goldango, which is actually really it's really fun. I lost the coin flip. With Charizard, I won the coin flip. Went first, but all that came down to mismanaged resources at the end. But he made me. He wanted to start, so he went first, and he was only able to establish a Dunsparce in the active. I wasn't able to get any other Pokemon, and of course Lost Zone just tried to push through and found a line to be able to get to the Cramorant, and was able to donk him. So fortunately, it was a it was an easy round 2. Going against him is always a tough endeavor for sure. So, but round 3 we went against another local player who was on was like Roaring Moon Ancient box. So I lost the coin flip. He made me go first. So we were able to establish 2 Comfey and got the Greninja and the hey, Togekiss V, nice. And then we also got the Goodra on the bench, so we could hopefully start getting it together. We were able to get Mist Energy on turn 1 onto it. So even basically what he would have had to do is Roaring Moon with the Stadium in play, but he wasn't able to do anything. But I think he was able to take a prize on a Comfey, which was fine. We were able to. It took us an extra turn to get the Mirage Gate. I was playing a little conservatively that game because like I think I could have like benched an extra. Could have benched an extra Comfey and been able to push and get the Mirage Gate online, but there was no way to switch the extra Comfey out because I'd already used my retreat for turn, and it was a gamble. So I figured it was just better for me to just wait an extra turn because I could have guaranteed to turn the Mirage Gate on the next turn, which we were able to do. He attached a booster to the Roaring Moon EX. So the next turn we were able to get our Goodra. We were able to get our Goodra attached to the Maximum Belt, which did the 250. And so like the following play, he wanted to get some damage on the Greninja because he wasn't sure like if I was going to be able to take extra prizes. But we were able to establish the Greninja to knock out not only the Colossal V, cool, not only knock out the Roaring Moon EX in the active, but we were also able to take it to Dunsparce out on the bench. And then it was just kind of all downhill from there because then I was able to get Goodra in after he revenge killed the Greninja. But I was pretty much right where I needed to be at that point. So we just kind of took knockouts. The 200 damage knocks out all the baby stuff from there anyways. So. But here we go. We got our Paradox Rift packs. So let's start opening these bad boys. But overall, despite the lack of presence at the event, I still think Goodra plays really well. I think Counter Catcher is nice. Ooh, Frostlass, Full Art Frostlass. I think I do have one of those already. But I think Goodra is definitely a very playable deck. I think it can definitely see some success if it's something you guys want to play. Hopefully you guys do play the list. Let me know what you think about the list. And if you get a chance to play it. Because, I mean, obviously I like Goodra. And I'm going to play Goodra any chance I can, especially since it actually is playable this format. Mist Energy just helps so much, just to keep it alive from those annoying one-shots. Volcanion, I think is good in GLC. One deck that I'm pretty much just a Prime Catcher short on finishing is Torterra. I think Torterra has some legs to stand on. Unfortunately, it's not very consistent. Does struggle with consistency a tad, which is unfortunate. But there's just so much Charizard going around. The EX, it's got like 340 HP or something. You can play Heavy Baton on it because it's a 4 retreat cost Pokemon, so that helps keep your energy in play, which is nice. But you don't even have to really rely on the EX because the baby Evo Press Torterra does a lot of the damage heavy lifting. Reverse, ooh, nice. You got an alt art Garganackle. Garganackle, I think, is probably going to be a decent energy accelerator in GLC, maybe. I think there's a Colossal that might be a little better. But one thing I didn't notice until I read it the other day with Garganackle is it actually heals. It heals like 30 damage when you do attach from discard to whatever Pokemon you attach. So, Tatsugiri for Dondozo. I really wish Dondozo was playable, but it just unfortunately is not. It's just not good. Despite my best efforts, I wanted somehow to make it a playable deck, but it is what it is. So, but if you guys would like to see more TCGs, we got a Hoopa EX. I think that's somewhat playable. I can't remember who runs it. It might actually be like Roaring Moon or something that runs it. But if you guys want to see more TCG content, please let me know. I do play on live, so if you guys want to see some live stuff, or if you want to catch me on Twitch, maybe we could play some live on Twitch, and if we can see Goodra in action, I think it's a fantastic deck. Of course, I've been singing his praises all video, so that's more Pico playable in Roaring Moon. But if you'd like to see the Torterra deck in action, I could definitely play some Torterra. I was actually able to trade for a third Iron Crown, so I'll actually have the future box good to go here soon as well. Minus Prime Catcher, obviously. It's one card that I definitely need. Mousehold EX. I don't know if the Mousehold is any good. Not that great. But I was also able to trade for a Master Ball today as well. So maybe Lugia in the future? I was playing Lugia for Silver Tempest format. Played Lugia a lot. Played it at some regionals, actually. It was not kind to me, unfortunately. But I do have most of the Lugia stuff. I think I do need some Cinccino and Minccino. I think Cinccino's the evolution. I think I just need like one or two more. But that's pretty much built as well. So we got some options for the format, for sure. Obviously, I've got the Lost Zone stuff, so I could make the majority of any Lost Zone equivalent. I've got the stuff for Giratina. I played Giratina at a few events. Actually, the last cup I played Giratina. Didn't play well, but it is what it is, you know. But you know, Orlando, like I said, Orlando was going on today. I think Perth was also going on today. A lot of Charizard decks in Top Cut. So Charizard obviously playable. I don't have Charizard stuff. For some reason, I just am so against playing like straight meta. Like I'd rather play something off meta to a degree. And I feel like Charizard's a little overdone, so I just avoid it if I can. Toadstool, it's a very cool reverse Turo. But in the Torterra deck, I do play both Toadstool. I think Toadstool is actually a decent tech card that helps with some matchups, and I think Torterra is probably one of the better decks to take advantage of that. Minior. Oh, no way! Full art Iron Hands EX. Oh my goodness. That's insane. That will be fantastic in the future box deck. I did not bring my card sleeves in here. What is my problem? Oh, I do have my last my 60th card sleeve for my deck that I put the whatchamacallit, the maximum belt on. So that is a fantastic pull. Nice money card. I do already have 3 of the regular arts that I've just pulled over the course of Paradox Rift release. It has gone, is just skyrocketed in price since then, which is insane. Another Garganackle. Nice, nice. So we've got 2 packs left here. So let's see if Garchomp and Iron Valiant will be nice to us. The deck I played at Knoxville was into Iron Valiant, which I feel like I played mostly well. There were a few Glisspot EX, cool. There were a few matchups. I feel like, and I'm a lot better, a lot more methodical with my play, especially if I get like a good bit of practice in before an event. But I feel like there are just some mistakes I make that just kind of snowballs from there. But yeah, very nice on the Iron Hands. We'll just pull out some of our really cool pulls we got here today. So out of half of a booster box and a Vivid Voltage ETB, we do have that. So very cool, very fun. But let me know what you think of the Goodra list. Let me know if you guys are going to play it, or if you do play it, if you have any success with the deck. Let me know if there's any cool tech cards you find or anything that you can just change up the list with, make it better in a matchup here or there. Let me know what other kind of stuff you guys want to see. If you want to see the Torterra, if you want to see the Iron Crown, just let me know. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Like I said, go ahead and follow me on Twitch as well. It's Goodra_FTW. Just slightly different from the YouTube channel. There is a Linktree link in the description. You can find all that stuff as well. But until next time, stay winning, friends. Just like Goodra.